Hello everyone. Now we will discuss about various angle projections. Suppose first angle projection, second angle projection, third angle projection, fourth angle projection. So there are four types of projections. So first angle projection is concerned with the first quadrant. Second angle projection is concerned with the second quadrant. Third angle projection is concerned with the third quadrant, and fourth angle projection is concerned with the fourth quadrant. So, in the previous classes, you have studied about the four quadrants and two coordinate system means x axis and y axis. Now we are going to deal with the third dimension also, which is z direction. Okay, so here there are vertical and horizontal plane, and previously in the coordinate system you have studied about the horizontal line and vertical line, and here horizontal plane and vertical plane. So horizontal plane is HP in the short form and vertical plane is the VP in the short form. So this line is along the Z axis. So this line is actually connecting these two planes, this vertical plane and this horizontal plane. So this line is actually called the reference line. Okay. Suppose one observer, this is observer, looking this point P from the front, okay, from the front. So this point P is above this horizontal planes. This is actually horizontal plane. So this point is above horizontal plane. So this is the distance between this horizontal plane and this point P. Suppose this is the 50 mm. Okay, and this point P is having some distance from the vertical plane. So this is the distance of this point P from this vertical plane. Suppose this is 40. Okay, so this point is located between the vertical plane and this horizontal plane, and this point is having some distance from the horizontal plane, which is suppose 50, and this distance is from the vertical plane is 40. Okay, so this point P, when looked by this observer from the front, so the shadow of this point P is placed on this vertical plane on this point, and this point is P dash, and this point is called the front view. Is called the front because this observer is looking this point P from the front. If this observer is now looking this point P from the top in the vertically downward direction, in this direction, this, okay. So the shadow of this point will be placed on this point P on the horizontal plane. So this is point P is the projection of this point P from the top. So this is actually top view. Okay, so now you can see this is the vertical plane, this is plane and this is also plane, and these two planes are perpendicular to each other. So this is the story of three dimension, but our drawing sheet is two dimensional like this. Okay, suppose this vertical plane is here too, here, this one, and this line is this line, reference line. Suppose this is xy line. So this is the vertical plane, and this horizontal plane, suppose, is rotated in clockwise direction. So this is consideration that we will rotate this horizontal plane in the clockwise direction always, to make this horizontal plane parallel to this vertical plane. If we rotate this horizontal plane in clockwise direction, so this horizontal plane will overlap this vertical plane in the lower part of this xy line. So this horizontal plane will overlap this vertical plane, you can see in this figure. So this horizontal plane is here, this one horizontal plane, and this vertical plane is here, vertical plane. So this is actually above this line, this xy line. So this is above xy line. So this is the front view, point P dash, and this point P will be rotated in clockwise direction. So this point P will be placed here, is here. Okay, so this point P is the front view, and this point P is point P. So this was actually in the horizontal plane in top view, and this is rotated in clockwise direction. So the new location of this point will be here. So this is the top view, and this top view is below the xy line. Okay, below the xy line. So to make it more clear, we will see this figure. So you can see in this figure, this is actually vertical plane in the red color, and this is horizontal plane in the blue color. Okay, so this is actually xy line, reference line. Here you can see. Okay, if we talk about the first angle or first quadrant, this one. Okay, so this is our vertical plane. This is our vertical plane. So this will be the vertical plane. So we can say here this is vertical plane, and this is horizontal plane in the blue color. If we rotate this horizontal plane in clockwise direction, so this horizontal plane will overlap this lower part of this vertical plane. So you can see this overlapped horizontal plane in this figure in blue color. Okay, so this is the horizontal plane. Okay, after overlapping or rotating in clockwise direction. So this is our vertical plane. This is our horizontal plane here. Okay, after rotation. Now suppose this point P is here. If we see from the front, this will be front view, and this will be placed on the vertical plane, and it is named by P dash, small p dash. So we will use dash for the front view, and we will not use dash in the top view. So this point is projected on this vertical plane, and this point P dash is having some distance from this horizontal plane. So this is the height or distance from this horizontal plane. Okay, so it will have some value, defined value, means this is y, and this point P is also in front of this vertical plane, means it is having some distance from y direction. So suppose this is x distance. So this is the x distance of this top view. Okay, so top view will be here, and the front view will be above the xy line. So this is point P dash, this is point P. So this is the projection of this point in case of the first angle projection. So this was the first angle projection, representation. Now we will talk about the second angle, vertically downward. So this will be placed on this HP. So second angle means any object or point is placed in the second quadrant. So this point will be above this HP, and it will be behind this vertical plane. Okay, suppose point P is here, okay. If we see this in the front direction, so the shadow of this plane will be on this vertical plane. Okay, so this will be the front view, and this front view will be here. So here front view and top view both are overlaid. Okay, so this is our front view P dash. Clear? And if we see this from the top vertically downward, so this will be placed on this HP on horizontal plane, and this horizontal plane will rotate in clockwise direction. So this horizontal plane will overlay this vertical plane. So this vertical plane is above the XY line. Here you can see in the red color, and this horizontal plane is rotating in clockwise direction, and it is going above this XY line. So both planes are above the XY line, and these front view and top view are overlapped, similar to a closed book is having nothing. Okay, so here front view and top view both are overlaid. That's why we will not prefer this second angle projection. Now we will talk about the third quadrant, means third angle projection. Okay, so third angle means any object or point is located below this HP, and behind of this vertical plane means here. Okay, if we see this point from this location from front, so this will be placed here on the vertical plane, but this portion is below the XY line. This portion is below the XY line. So in this case, this is the vertical plane below this XY line. So this is vertical plane, and when we will see this object from the front, so the front view will be placed on this vertical plane. Suppose this is point P dash. This is front view. This point P from this case. So the shadow of this point. If we see this point P from the top, okay. Suppose this HP is transparent, and someone is looking from this top towards this point. So the shadow of this point will be placed on this horizontal plane, and this horizontal plane is rotating in clockwise direction. So this horizontal plane will be rotated in the clockwise direction, and it will be overlap this. Sorry, it will be above the XY line. So this top view will be above the XY line here. Okay, so this is the top view. So this is front view, and this is the top view. So it is the case of the third angle projection. Now we will talk about the fourth angle projection. Fourth angle projection means object is in the fourth quadrant. Suppose one object is placed here. Okay, someone is looking this point P from this direction. So the shadow of this point will be placed here. Okay, so this will be the front view. This will be the front view, and this front view is below the XY line. This is XY line. Okay, and this is below the XY line in this portion. So here you can see this point will be below the XY line, point P dash.